Alright, hello again.
Hey.
I'm Joshua Bastian Cole, and this is Kit Yen, part of the Good Asian Drivers Tour. We are here in Brooklyn now, and this is an exclusive video for transgenre.net, the awesome place for performance artists who are trans on the net. And so, here's Kit, and you are a slam poet, yes. Tell us about that.
I'll just quickly tell you, I've been writing poetry since I was like 5 or 6. Ever since I picked up a Dr. Seuss, Shel Silverstein type of book. And, but I didn't get into slam until college, which, was about 6 years ago for an assignment in college. It was to go to a slam, and I ended up really falling in love with the genre, and then was like competitively in that scene, going to nationals, individual world poetry slam, things like that for a while when I was at a young age, and lucky enough to have really great Boston-based mentors like Michael Brown, who's one of like the oldest people in slam, kind of one of the founders of it, and a lot of other folks that are really awesome in Boston.
Is Boston really? It's a central location for slam poetry.
Yeah, it's a pretty big hub of poets and who do really well, every year at these big competitions. So I was really lucky.
Yeah, it seems almost serendipitous that you discovered slam poetry and you happen to be in like this mecca of slam poetry, right?
Yeah, it was great.
That's awesome. Do you, by any chance, I'm curious, you said you started writing poetry at 5 or 6?
Yeah.
Do you remember any of those poems?
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh,
they were about like friendship. They were about like Valentine's Day. They were about just all kinds of things you write about when you're a kid.
Do you know how they go?
Playground. They were like sing-song and rhymey. I don't think
the transgenre.net folks might like to hear one.
I actually don't have any in my memory.
No, alright. If you ever find one, you should put it on the site.
Oh, that would be so embarrassing.
It would be adorable, Well, so you moved from Dr. Seuss up to, so you went right into slam poetry. Like you didn't, there was no like,
no.
other kinds of poetry, you just jumped into slam?
No, I was really into like different kinds of form and free verse, and then in school I studied poetry, but then ended up, slam is what took me away from a lot of that.
Okay, cool. So, what else can I ask you? Well, the tour, let's talk about the tour. Yes.
Yeah.
And how you became part of a touring show and all that.
Well, so I actually went to business school. I studied like really hardcore business at a very hardcore school for 4 years. And I graduated, and then I was still doing slam and doing performances on my own. But the scene in Boston's a little bit smaller than say like here in New York, so it's hard not to know everyone else. But Melissa was like she's really talented. She's my other half.
This is Melissa Lee, the other part of Good Asian Drivers.
Yeah, and she's really big on the scene, and we ended up in the same lineup a lot. And so I'd seen her one day, like we were in the same lineup for a couple of months. I wrote a poem about it, and it talks about being like in the back of a drag bar. She tunes her guitar while I rewrite lines of poetry, which is a true story because like that's where I met her.
That's awesome.
To talk about this is like when I said to her, hey, let's quit our jobs, let's go on tour. And so it was totally do it yourself. We quit our jobs, and for 3 months full time just planned out a 3-month 30-state tour. Which we ended up doing, which was crazy. We're in my like Toyota Corolla, cooped up with like ramen and going across the country.
Guitar, box in there and like.
Absolutely.
That's
so
awesome.
that's what happened with how Good Asian Drivers got started.
Wow. And you were literally driving. Like,
we were literally driving.
I hope you were driving as well as you claim to. So.
Hey, no speeding tickets the whole way.
Well, there you go. You should put that on your posters. No speeding tickets. It's proof. You're truth in marketing, right? You're selling the real stuff.
Yeah.
You're a good driver.
I'm proud to say.
That's awesome. And so that was your first tour, and you just had a different tour that you just went on, or is that part of the same one?
So, we wrapped up. That was like its own entity. We wrapped it up, and now, like today, we're back on the road again through the end of the year, pretty much. So we may be going to any one city, really. I mean,
which you might be able to check at the transgenre.net website.
Yeah.
For the next tour date.
We
keep checking it.
have been spending a lot of time in the Midwest, which I really have grown to love the Midwest a lot.
That's wild.
We'll be in like Seattle and Vancouver and I don't know, a lot of random places.
All over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Tours are exciting. I was gonna ask something else. About the tour. Maybe not. This is a bit cut out, of course. Well, shoot. I guess I don't have any more specific questions. Maybe would you like to do a piece or a part of one? Is that something you might like to do?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Would I be making you uncomfortable if I'm right next to you when you do it?
No, you
solo
won't. I just
spot?
have to like pick something to do.
Okay. Do you want me to like pause it while you think, or
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't waste anywhere. I wish I had like a little remote because I could be like,